Today I'm gonna help fit this roll cage to this MR2. Stay tuned. That's a good one! It seems like they're bloody multiplying. We have the yellow one there, we have the new blue one there, more about it later, and now we have this gem. This belongs to that lovely gentleman who doesn't like to be on camera, but we'll change that today. He wants a cage, because race car and all that jazz. This is a JP cages. I'm not affiliated with JP cages, so if something goes sideways, I am not the one to blame. We're gonna be fitting this thing into this thing. This is kind of like a half cage, basically a rear roll bar. Very popular with MR2s for one specific reason. The front is extremely stiff. I've seen some roll cars and this withstands a roll basically, so there's almost no need unless you're a really serious competitor to go full cage. So many people fit those, and they work both with soft tops and the hard tops like Alexi has. It's fairly simple. It's basically 4 attachment points. I'm lying 6 because those 2 kind of go in there, but we're not modifying them in any way. We need to make 2 feet for the bottom in there, and we need to make some plates for the rear stays. I'm not sure how to do it. We basically took a bunch of interior bits out, the seats and everything, so we can see how the cage sits inside the cockpit by itself. Now I have to massage a few places with a sledgehammer and then make a few templates, cut some steel, weld it into place, bolt it on, and then sit back, enjoy a beer and marvel at our creation. So the bits in here are really easy. All we need to do is clean all this up, make a diagonal, and then the top. Straightforward. Almost the same here. It's nice and flat. We just need to make a little sort of box coming from here. This, however, this side, this is the driver's side, is a little bit more awkward because you have this kind of hump that is kind of in the way, because I want to be as flat as possible. So this, I think I'm gonna massage with a hammer. As you can see, hump no more. It was like this. So now this is sort of nice and flat, so we can actually weld things onto it. Now I want to put the cage back in so I can actually mark everything how it should be. Lovely. Охуенно. Все.
Да, у тебя там это получилось? С кувалдой.
Ха! Получилось ли у меня с кувалдой?
Ух ты!
Охапка дров и плов готов.
Круто.
You see what I mean? Now it's nice and flat without that hump. So when we make a plate, the top thing can actually go and sit nice and sort of square without cutting all these things out. It's fine, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it will be fine. Yeah.
To make this installation easier, I decided to cut this off. So the bolts are now, as you can see, not going to be from the side, but from the top. To make a box would make it a lot easier, because I can actually make a box while everything is in it, make a plate and attach it to it. With this in place, the box would have been underneath, and it means taking the cage out and in and out like 20 times. Anyways, done that, all the corners are clean. I've made a simple template. By simple, I really mean simple. It's only 2 parts. It's a triangle at the top. This is where the cage will bolt into, and this is the plate that sort of boxes everything in. So now we have to trace it onto metal, one side only. Cut once, measure 7 times, drill some holes, attach it to the plate, and then we'll be able to see if it all fits perfectly. If it does, transfer the same to the other side. So we have 2 plates.
Spit it out!
2 plates. One like that. I'll drill 2 holes now, put captive nuts so the cage bolts to that without any nut, and then this goes on the side, something like this. So basically it becomes a box corner, so not really a box, it's a box corner. And once this is completely done, the same should be on the other side. The only difference is probably the holes will be slightly different, because obviously I've done both of them by eye, but I would be able to trace it onto the other side. So that's basically your box. The gap here, don't look. There's a little bit too much for my liking here. There's a little bit too much here, but it's fine. It's MIG welder. We can feel it, right? Right. The other one is mint though. Well, in my defense, this one was cut by Alexi. So simple, you see. So now take this off, leave the cage off. I can weld all the way around it. We can beautify it and whatnot, you know. As the saying goes, a grinder makes me the welder I'm not. So we'll beautify the whole thing, paint it red, just to match this beautiful paint job, and the front is basically complete. Once this is done, that we know, I mean, it's already pretty bloody solid, and then we'll be able to sort of make the little plates adapters at the back. I want to say finish straight, but we're about halfway-ish.
1 hour later.
The next morning, run out of daylight, but as you've seen, the corners are complete. So now I need to do those boxes right there at the back. Solution is simple: plate attached to the roll bar so you know where it is, and then you use cardboard for template and you cut some steel pieces and they sort of go neatly inside there like so, and then you just weld them in place. Simple. Now it's all tucked in place, cage out, so now I can weld around it, because obviously with the cage there is no way to weld around it. Another 3 little template sidey bits for the box ready. This is the last one. Let's tuck it in place and then I'll show you the finished article before Alexi can paint it. Ta-da! Some of my worst welds, honestly. He's happy though. I mean, penetration is there.
Penetrate?
It's all fully welded around. There's 2 little corners where we'll just put sealant, but it's just impossible because this folds. You know how manufacturers make. Anyways, I'm happy how it is. Cage fits perfect because, well, I know because we're taking it out and in like 20 times, obviously, for measurements. They're not the prettiest of welds. Those of you who welded sort of new metal to old, what, 20? This is 20 years old, isn't it, the car? Yeah. Something like that. You know the struggle. Thin metal, 0.8 mil, 0.6 mil to 3 mil steel. It's just, you know, once a little hole appears, you kind of start chasing it. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine. It's not going to win any prizes, but it's going to be safe. Yeah, just wait for this paint to dry. Then we do the final and possibly the last fitment. For last time it's going to be fitted, and then yeah, the carpet over, and we have to figure out how to bloody route those cables and the ECUs, because obviously both of them accidentally they were right in those places where we put those new mounting boxes at the back. So the ECU and the other one, I don't even know what the other is, maybe some kind of electronic control unit for the car itself. So in the worst case scenario, cable tie to the roll cage, and Bob is your uncle.
Who's Uncle Bob?
That's not going anywhere. Surprise, surprise, all the bolts lined up. That's because the way I'm doing it, I'm doing one bracket at a time, and I've been telling Alexi, and he was like, oh, you should say it on camera. There's multiple ways of doing it, but I prefer to do one at a time, because that way you know that once you sort of bolt it, then the other one will be in the correct position. So I don't do sort of a pair, because even half a mil off, then you will struggle, and obviously this is going to be impossible to sort of massage it into place. So yeah, everything fits absolutely perfect. Mentioned it before, we're not going to win any prizes for welding beauty, but it's safe, full penetration everywhere. Penetration.
Double penetration.
Yeah, even painted red, even almost what is it, post box red color. What is it? No, it's not. We actually bought hammerite red, so it's not the post box red. I think that was the original. But yeah, I mean, obviously carpet over it, and Alexi is planning to sort of beautify this monstrosity of sound deadening he did. So it will all be covered and stuff. What did I want to say? Oh yeah, we didn't use this bolt, but it's on one and one on the inside. This one was way too complicated because it's way too close to the seam, so it would have required us to sort of cut a hole and then make a little box on the other side, and just way too complicated with the engine in. And we just decided 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, 1 there, 1 there, 2 there, so it's 10 M10 high tensile bolts, and 1 bolt is enough to lift the car, so we can literally lift 10 cars with this. I'm happy. Yeah, maybe I should buy one for myself.